What have I gotten myself into? Finally going to start making YouTube videos again. I think it's been about a year and a half. A little bit of a long wait. Thankfully I've only got like 40 subscribers, so it's all good. Anyways, as you can see, new location. I'm inside my shop in southern Idaho, out behind the house that my lady and I bought September of 2017. So a lot of big changes. I don't live in southern Florida anymore. We moved back. Things are going really well. Both have new careers, getting to see a lot of family and friends, and have a little bit more free time and finances to go on adventures and do more things that we like. So it's pretty cool. One of the things that I like to do is hang out in my shop and work on my race cars, work on my motorcycle, work on little projects and odds and ends I pick up. And I've really been wanting to make YouTube videos again. So I thought, what better way to get back into YouTube than to start a new little series I'd like to call the Death and Resurrection Show. I have many broken down little project cars, things that need attention. What better way to do that and to motivate myself to do it than to start a new series I'd like to call the Death and Resurrection Show. Because everything I own is dead, and it needs brought back to life. And we're going to start this new series off with my latest purchase, a beat to hell 2001 F350, 7.3 Powerstroke diesel, manual transmission, manual hubs, manual T-case, bare bones interior, only 220,000 miles on the odometer. And as you can see, it's really not horrendously trashed. The truck's in decent shape. This is the main reason we wanted it. But it doesn't run very well. It will start and move under its own power, but it idles like absolute crap. And I've replaced a few sensors. I've done a little bit of diagnostic work on it already. It's got a set of rebuilt injectors in it, put a newer turbo on it. The truck itself has 220,000 miles, and it did get to my shop under its own power. It was about a 15-mile drive, and I think it took 2 hours because it just wouldn't run and stay running for more than maybe 5 minutes at a time. Not a big deal. So I've done a lot of parts replacement. It needed new IPR valve, it needed the new ICP sensor, it got a new cam position sensor, it got a new exhaust back pressure sensor, and it got a new map sensor. And after all of that, it will start and drive around on its own reliably, and it lights off pretty fast, but it smokes like crazy, and it's got one of the roughest idles I have ever encountered in my life. So what I'm going to do today, since we've kind of gotten to a point where something is going on and I have an inkling. I had a few friends, some acquaintances come over that are Powerstroke aficionados, and they think it's got low compression. I am kind of inclined to agree. So after my buddies and I looked at it, we both agreed it needs a compression test. I have a test kit, but it didn't have the right fitting for the glow plugs, which is where the easiest way to test the compression on these 7.3 Powerstrokes. So this finally showed up in the mail. This is the fitting in question. This is 10 millimeter by 1 thread pitch. This threads into where the glow plugs are. This is the kit I have. You can see the gauge goes up high enough, 1000 psi. I think I only paid $30 for the kit at Harbor Freight, and the fitting is $19.95 on Amazon. Not crazy. I will link both of these in the description if you want to do it yourself. Need some basic hand tools. You got to yank some things out, pulled the glow plugs. We took the intercooler charge piping off, the air intake came off. I pulled the valve cover harnesses and the valve covers off just for ease, just to get in there a little bit easier. And it's pretty straightforward. Oh no! I dropped my fitting. Anyways, as you can see, those threads right there, that's where the adapter goes, and that's where you do your compression test from. So that's why we pulled everything out, so we have space to work and we can get to everything easily. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty straightforward. It'd take a couple hours if you're mechanically inclined. It's not a terribly hard job. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get everything hooked up and get the compression test done on this and see what we find out. Alright, boys and girls. So this is kind of what we're looking at. We've got our fitting screwed in, plugged into our high PSI. This one goes up to 1,000. This is going to be what we'll use to actually test the compression ratio. So with a cold engine and the elevation where I think it's about 3,500 feet in southern Idaho, there's equations you can do, but realistically you should be seeing anywhere between 380 and 420 PSI, I believe. Obviously the higher the better. The more important thing from my understanding of diesel motors is that they're balanced. It's like when they do cylinder contribution tests, that's what they're looking for, is the balance on the engine. So we will do our first one. I am skeptical that it's going to be anything impressive. I really did not pay a lot of money for this truck. So there's a very strong chance that we're going to see some pretty sad numbers, and that this old motor is going to be coming out, and I'm going to be going through it, because it's just my luck. So, that's your starter solenoid. This is a screwdriver. Let's get crazy. Oh, come on, baby. Oh no, that's not good. This isn't necessarily the end of the world. It's an engine, we can rebuild it, but what I want to do is document exactly what PSI we're seeing from each cylinder bank and each cylinder. That way when it does come time to tear it down, we can make a more educated decision on whether we're going to re-ring one or a couple cylinders, or if we're going to just go ahead and do the whole damn thing. Another thing you want to take into account is cranking speed does affect this. So I know that the starter in my truck is not the strongest, but it's been enough to get it to light off in the past. These 7.3 Powerstrokes, if they don't see enough speed, basically, they've got a cam position sensor, if they don't see enough speed, enough RPM, then they won't start firing the injectors and putting fuel in the cylinders. So I'm going to go ahead and test the rest of them. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's cranking over fast enough, but it cranks over fast enough to start the truck, so I think it cranks over fast enough to do the test. You are going to want to make sure that you have a good charge on your batteries, because it does take a lot to get these to turn over, and we're going to be doing that 8 times, so it doesn't hurt to have a couple of battery tenders or chargers on hand. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I will let you know what I find and where we're going to go from here. Alright, we're back. So I got done testing all 8 cylinders for compression, and what we want, we don't have. That's right. You see number 6? 0 PSI. Hole in the piston, no rings, bad rings. If all of it was like that, it would probably be okay-ish, but not really. It's basically what I'm trying to tell you all is that the engine in this thing is thrashed. Easy way to fix it. Motor's going to have to come out, and normally I would just say, hey, cut your losses, you're done. But in this particular situation, I do not have the money to lose. So a little bit of background on the truck. I picked it up about 3 months ago for $2,400. 220,000 miles on the clock. Like I said, it's a manual transmission truck. It's got everything that I wanted. It was at a price where I was like, okay, it probably needs some sensors, maybe the injectors need rebuilt, yada yada yada. In hindsight, this is what I should have done right off the get, was order my compression tester. But I'm a nice dude, and I trusted the guy I bought the truck from. He said, yeah man, it runs. It's got a good engine in it, it just needs a little TLC. Well, brother, it needs a lot of TLC. So, with the injector rebuild, the sensors that I've replaced, and gaskets for the turbocharger and a few things like that, I'm into the truck right now about $3 grand, $3,100. The way it sits right now, I'd be lucky to get $1 grand out of it, maybe $1,200 as a parts truck. I'd probably get more money parting it out than actually selling the truck as a complete unit, and I don't have the space to sit on a 1-ton Ford until I can part it out. I haven't noticed, it's humongous. I think it's a 30-foot shop. It takes up most of it. So what's going to be happening is I'm going to purchase myself an engine stand that can hold 1,500 pounds, and I'm going to pull this motor out and we're going to see how bad it is. I'm kind of leaning towards rebuilding this, but I need to see what kind of condition the actual bottom end is in. Make sure that I don't have any damage on the cylinder heads, make sure that the cylinder walls aren't destroyed, make sure that all the rods are good. It could possibly be re-ringing 7 of them and putting a new piston in 6. It could be that the block is bad. If it's got a deep enough, if it's gouged, if it's scratched up on the cylinder wall, she's dead, period. So I'm going to continue this video series of me prepping this truck and getting it ready. Pull the radiator, I'm going to have to pull all the accessories off, basic stuff. It's really nothing too crazy. Don't fear the diesel. We'll push this hunk of shit out and we'll move some of this stuff out. Episode 1, Death and Resurrection Show. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you like the episode. This isn't going to be anything too crazy. It's just I spend a lot of time out here, so I figured why not document it. Could be fun. Be kind, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think I should do with this truck. Maybe you'll persuade me to set it on fire. Leave it in Caldwell and let it get parted out on its own. Collect some insurance money. I don't know. Let me know what you thought. Thanks for watching.